welcome to Storytime. This is my friend Koala Lou. She's a koala bear and she comes from Australia, and so do the other animals that live in this book. The title of our book today is called Koala Lou. Once there was a koala so soft and round that all who saw her loved her, and her name was Koala Lou. The emu loved her, the platypus loved her, and even tough little koala claws from next door loved her. But it was her mother who loved her the most. 100 times a day she would laugh and shake her head and say, "Koala Lou, I do love you." Whenever she stretched in the early morning sun or climbed a gum tree or bravely went down the path all by herself, her mother would smile and say, "Koala Lou, I do love you." The years passed and other koalas were born, brothers and sisters for Koala Lou. Soon her mother was so busy she didn't have time to tell Koala Lou that she loved her, but of course she did. Every night as she curled up under the stars, Koala Lou thought about the times when her mother had looked at her and said, "Koala Lou, I do love you," and she longed to hear her say it again. One night, Koala Lou had a splendid idea. Preparations had begun for the Bush Olympics. She would enter the Olympics. She would compete in the gum tree climbing event, and she would win. And her mother would fling her arms around her neck again and say, "Koala Lou, I do love you." Koala Lou began her training right away. She jogged and puffed and lifted weights and panted. She hung from a branch with one claw at a time till she ached. She did push-ups till her stomach hurt, and last of all, she climbed the tallest tree that she could find over and over and over again. Sometimes her mother would watch her and ask, "How you going, Blossom?" "Fine, just fine," Koala Lou would say. At last, the day of the Bush Olympics arrived. Koala Claus had also entered the gum tree climbing event, and everyone knew how fast she was. But Koala Lou wasn't scared. She saw her mother in the crowd and imagined her saying again, "Koala Lou, I do love you," and her heart filled with hope. It was Koala Claus who went first. Her climb was a record-breaking 22 meters in 70 seconds flat. The spectators whistled and cheered and wildly waved their party hats. "Can I do better than that?" wondered Koala Lou. "I must." As she stepped toward the tree, a hush fell over the crowd. "On your mark," said the kookaburra. "Get set, go." Koala Lou leaped onto the tree. Up and up and up she climbed. Higher and higher and higher she climbed. Faster and faster and faster she climbed. And there she was, right at the very top. The spectators roared and clapped and stamped their feet. But she wasn't fast enough. In spite of her training and all her hoping, it was Koala Claus who won the gum tree climbing. Koala Lou came in second. Koala Lou went off and hid. She heard the shouts of the Bush Olympics and cried her heart out. When the first stars of evening appeared in the sky, Koala Lou crept home through the dark and up into the gum tree. Her mother was waiting for her. Before she could say a word, her mother had flung her arms around her neck and said, "Koala Lou, I do love you. I always have and I always will." And she hugged her for a very long time. And that's our story for today. Bye. Hi, would you like to learn how to make a koala puppet today? Well, I'm going to show you how. You can make this koala puppet using things you have around the house. I used brown wrapping paper, but there are lots of other things you can use. For instance, you can use brown paper shopping bags. You can use cereal boxes or cracker boxes. You can cut them out, but you should ask a parent if that's okay if you use that, and also to help you with the cutting. You can use just plain white paper, and then you can color your koala brown, or koalas also come in gray. You can color them gray. Now, besides the paper that you can use, you can see that our koala today is made from a lot of circles. See, there's a big circle for his body and a smaller circle for his tummy. and so on. Now, to make your circles, what I found was the easiest way to do it was to look for things that I have around the house that have circular bottoms. Now, there are a lot of things you can use around the house. For instance, I used a paper plate for my koala's body, and then I kept getting smaller circles for the rest of his body. For instance, I used a bowl to make a circle for his head, or you can use a plate. There's lots of things you can use. I also found peanuts. You can trace around the bottom of the peanut can, or water bottles. I even used an empty bubble canister for some of my circles. You can use a candle. You can use a spice jar, but always, always, always ask your parents if it's okay if you use those. Now, when you get done tracing your circles, this is basically what you're going to have. You're going to have a large circle for your body. Now, you can start with any size circle. It doesn't have to be this big. It could be a lot smaller. It could be Koala Lou's brothers and sisters. But you're going to start out with a larger circle, and then you're going to get a smaller circle for the head, smaller circles for the 2 ears, and then we're going to make a nose. Now, this nose is oval, so you can start out with a circle and then just trim it down, and you can color it black. We also have to have eyes so the koala can see, so you just cut some smaller circles. And you can color them. You can leave them white, or you can make a black or a purple or a blue or whatever color you want dot in the center, like I did with mine. And to make my koala fluffier in the center, I used some cotton balls to make him a nice fluffy koala like in the book. So we can get a piece of a white circle and cut it out and put it on his tummy, and then you can put some cotton balls there. The same thing with his fluffy ears, or her fluffy ears. Now, the way I made the paws was I took a circle that was about this size, and I cut it down. So you cut out the center of the circle, which I can't find my scissors for now. Oh, well, you cut it so that you have like a half moon shape, and you end up with something that looks like his paws right there. Doesn't have to look exactly like this. They can be skinny arms, they can be fat arms, they can be any kind of arm you like. And then if you would like our Mr. Puppet to actually be a puppet, you can tape something on the back. You can use paint sticks to do that. I don't have any paint sticks, so I used a long roll from paper towels, and I taped it to the back of his body. And it sort of looks like the tree he's climbing. But if you want to make a different tree, you can make a different tree like this. You just get a long piece of paper, you can color it so that it's got bark, you can cut out some leaves, and you color them and put them at the very top. And here you are. Koala is ready to climb a gum tree and participate in the Bush Olympics. So there he goes, off to do the races, climb the trees, have fun. So that's my message to you. Have fun, be safe, and have a great summer. Bye for now. Bye.